I hope it's working this time. Kind of funny when the technology thing fails me. Let's see if I can find all of you, and hopefully you're finding me okay. Ah, I have a camera. That's brilliant. I gotta go tell my friend that I'm all set. I have a friend that helps me with these things, and yep, all better. I just was freaking a little because, when technology doesn't work, we all do that, right? It's totally normal. Okay. Well, I got a new stamp positioner tool this week, and people were asking about it. Let me see if I can zoom out a bit here. Yeah, just a little bit. Okay. So on the first go, I made a reel, and people were asking questions from the reel, so I thought that maybe we would talk about it. Someone asked if you can stamp again a second time, and you can, except if you notice this one came out just a wee bit fuzzy. Let me zoom way in so you can see them side by side, and how I mean fuzzy, like off. You see how that one's off a little bit? So let's take a look at this positioner, and we'll have a little chat. Now, if you're here, and I'm so grateful you're here, because technology has been tricky for me. Anyway, I'm going to move that out of the way. I got a big ruler here so that we can measure the tool. But what I realized last night, you guys are going to love this, is that this positioner tool fits in my old Stamparatus bag. So I actually zipped it in because I was so happy about it. It fits like a glove, just barely edge to edge. It's a bit bigger than the Stamparatus is. And you can see I got some blue ink on here, and I've got some marks that I made. We can talk about that in a minute. But I took this bad boy out of the box and put some ink on it, because that's what I do when I'm new with things, and I drew a guide here from my 4 by 5¼ inch stack of paper that I have just hanging out in my studio. And I've been looking around online to see if I could find somebody that could teach me how to use this tool, this one in the middle here. So essentially, you've got all of these dots, right? And the dots stick up, and the paper that you can buy for it, the grid paper, comes through the dots to hold it in place, right? Well, here, there's a break in the action. So there's like a dot, I don't know, we'll call it every 3/4 inch or so, for that to sit in there. But then there's one missing right here by the 4, right? So that leads me to wonder, if you look, it's kind of funny. The grid lines on this and the grid lines on the stamp positioning tool don't exactly line up perfect. You seeing that? So there's that kind of give, right? Well, the smaller door also has a little bit of give. So if you're going to use yours, you have to keep in mind that you want to see those lines, even if they're not perfectly lined up with the lines underneath them, which doesn't bother me at all. You want to make sure that you're not doing this when you're stamping. You want to make sure that you take your time and that you see a line right beside a line like that. You with me? So, oh, hello from Australia. That's exciting. Hello from down under. Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to try here, and I have stamp club in not too long. We start at 5 o'clock, and my husband actually has a third interview today. He's been interviewing frantically. He's had like 5 interviews this week, which I'm so excited for him. He's been looking for a position. He lost his job last year, and it sounds so long ago. It's like just a few months, but he's definitely doing well with the interview process. So this one doesn't seem to have as much give as the little door. So you want to kind of keep that in mind when you're stamping with yours. And since we're using this for Stamp Club tonight, I thought that maybe we would play with this stamp set. Now, because I already played with this one and I showed you what happened when the door kind of shifted just a little bit. So when you get yours, keep that in mind. And yes, you can definitely stamp right on top of a stamp that you misstamped, but I would take caution before you push down to make sure the lines line up. So it was a good question, and I wanted to touch base on that quickly today. All right, so I've got some cloud cover cardstock. It matches the projects for tonight. Can I just tell you, I'm so excited about these. This is my favorite in the online exclusives. I gotta show you this project kit. Hang on before we get going. These are the kits for tonight. And Mary, I see you're watching. You're getting one of these in the mail. So it's got one of the protectors that I like to put my designer paper in, because they got one sheet of each design in the pack. And then they're basically going to make a one sheet wonder out of this. But then they have all these extra supplies, and then the pre-cut card kit. And yes, that's a pre-tied bow, Mary. But they're getting a full bolt of ribbon also. So I'm excited, and Beth should be here to kick it off with me at 5 o'clock. One of the things I love about Stamp Club is being able to stamp with people in the studio, because I like to be able to take the video after and say, oh, we had trouble with this bit or that bit, and so on. All right, I still need to zoom out a little, and I can't. So I'm going to move my table around because I'm already getting messy. You know how it gets in the stamp room when you get started. But I thought to try out the circle thing, that I would start with a 3-inch square. So I'm going to cut up some card bases here. I had a whole bunch of cloud cover cut anyway. And I want to see, this might be better with a smaller circle. Actually, I'm gonna go 3.5, because I'm not really sure. These flower images are bigger than what I would imagine for a regular wreath. I'd want maybe a smaller flower. But we're just playing here. I don't actually have a plan or know what we're doing, and I've never done a circular stamp with a stamp positioner. Now, I do have a Stamparatus, and I do have a Misty, and I will tell you the differences in the mechanisms. First of all, the Stamparatus and the Misty have a door that has a hinge on it that flips up and down. Ours don't hinge. This is just a mechanism. And these little crystal clear circles, I almost didn't find them. The Stampin' Up! Logo is facing me. And these two open circles go on the hinges at the top. And like I said, this big one doesn't have as much give as the little one. When you put the little one on, and again, what's wrong with this picture? The Stampin' Up! Logo's away from me. I want it to be facing me so that these open circle hinges, which are almost invisible, will sit evenly on my paper. Now, the cool part about that is when I go to stamp, it's on a spring, so you have to push down evenly. It doesn't fold over like the door did. And sometimes with the door, I would find that like spots up here wouldn't stamp because it was uneven. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's see. Yes, thank you, Mary. And thanks for your question. I just didn't know about the, I don't know the answer about the sheets, if we will have them. I know that this is on pre-order right now for a very short time for demonstrators only, and that on February 2nd or 3rd, there's going to be a starter kit promotion where you can get one for free if you're not a demonstrator with your regular starter kit. So the deal is epic. I'm very excited about that. So I'm going to take this 3.5-inch square. And I was doing 3, but then I realized how big my flower is, and I thought, oh, will we be able to make a wreath? I don't think we will. I think this one's a little bit big. You know what? I'm going to go see if I can find a better wreath. Hang on. How about, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work either, but I want to get the idea if we can do it, right? So how about if we pull the sunshine, or we could do the flower. I think the sunshine will be cute. So let's start with that. I get sunshine. It's sunny out here finally. It's like snowmageddon. All right, so I'm gonna, what in my head, this is how my brain works. I see 8 possibilities to make a wreath. So there's the square pieces, and then there's the triangle pieces. So we're on the diamond right now, and I've got my stamp so that it would be stamping on the paper. And then I've got my magnets, and you can put the magnets under the door, which I like. I think I'm going to use the big one for this, even though the stamp is so tiny. And then I'm going to push down to pick up my stamp. Now, notice that the magnet's clear under the stamp, so I can pick that up and have my stamp and not worry about moving it. And then I'm gonna, this is where if you have Stampin' Spots, it might be nice because you could use Stampin' Spots to ink up your images, but I don't have any, so I'm just gonna get nice and messy here. And then again, the logo is facing me, and I'm gonna press down for my first image. Now, like I said, I've never done this, so I don't even know if the wreath bit is gonna work for me, but let's try it. Okay, so while I have this over, I'm gonna add a little ink to it, and then I'm gonna move my guys. Now, when I go to flip this, the center point of that point is not lining up with the lines on the Stamparatus. Can you see that clearly? I'm not sure if you can see. Let's see if I'll get you. Got a big old ruler here. Ugh, sorry, I'm swaying in the breeze a bit. Okay, so the point is here. Ay, ay, ay. All right. And I want to see. Hang on one second. I want to get my center point. Oof. My ruler. I mean my magnet. Those magnets are sticky little buggers. All right, here we go. So here's the tip. And then I'm going to mark this. Oh, maybe. Let's try that again. All right. Just going to mark it here because I don't exactly know where I'm going, but I know that that's the middle. Okay. And then I'm going to measure my 3.5 inch circle. So that half of 3.5. So it would be 1.5, 1 3/4. So I'm going to mark the back just so I can get an idea where the middle is. So 3/4 would be there. So gentle, huh? All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to say, okay, there's my line of where the middle, the exact middle of my cardstock would be. And I know that's kind of weird, but again, I'm just playing here. And then I'm going to flip it over and kind of line it back up. So actually, you know, close enough would be okay with this, I think, because if you look, you have these little dots that are sticking up too, and I can kind of see visually where my middle point is, right? So by now the ink must have beaded off my image, so I'm just gonna flip this over and give it another stamp. Again, the Stampin' Up is facing me, and look, I got ink on my thing, but see how I got my wreath started? Okay, so now I'm gonna flip it again. So I have 8 places I can stamp if I line it up so that it's exactly in the middle. Or if I wanted to, I could set up a cluster of flowers here and only have to do the 4 triangles. But for right now, I'm still gonna play. So let's see, get this. And I did clean a chamois for this, but this is cool because see how I have like a mess on my door? None of it's touching, and it's hovering above the magnets until I push down. And it does give you the opportunity to stamp again if you miss, but if you press and hold, it gives the image a couple of more seconds to soak the ink in. So again, I'm going to go center point between those 2 points. That's a good reference for your eyes. I like that. And I guess my OCD is going to make me clean that before I go again, but that's not to say that I won't get more ink on it. I'm an overachiever when it comes to ink. Here, let me just clean that off with my chamois. And I don't need to get it on my fingers. You know that's what would happen next, right? So here we go. I got this, and I'm just going to take a second and read Debbie Black's. I have one of these that's similar to this. It doesn't have a spring mechanism. See, like I really love that because now I'm exactly where I want to be. And it's overlapping and it's working pretty good with the, here, I'm turning the whole thing. See my brain? That's so funny. And if you hear the big beep, beep, beeps outside, I live across the street from a school and they are still clearing the snow. I can't even begin to tell you. We had about 2 feet of snow, and about halfway through the snow removal yesterday, the John Deere broke. Brian hit a brick with it and something broke. So he finished the job and he did it all by himself. He takes good care of us here. Wouldn't let me help because I have rain-ons. I go outside and I turn colors. But he did a really good job. So that's a little bit weak. I'm gonna hit that again. See how it's like too light compared to the other ones? I don't know if you're seeing that. Let me see how light that is. I'm gonna just hit it again in the same spot. Now, the longer I hold it, the darker my image will be. That was a tip from the home office that I picked up at the card making retreat this weekend. Okay, so here we go. And again, I got it centered between those 2 pins. And again, this is on the fly. I've never done this. I just knew that there must be a way to do a circular image, or in my case, it would be like a wreath. I think I wanted like greenery or something to do a wreath. Be kind of cute. I think we have a eucalyptus stamp somewhere. I gotta look through. But this was something I was like, why would they put the triangle on this thing if they didn't want us to try and make a wreath? Let's see. Looking. So the grid paper will be taken off the website after February 2nd, and we won't be able to get it during the kit promotion. Well, that's good to know because that's something that I think I want to buy multiples of, is the grid paper. I mean, I've only used 1 piece so far, but it does have blue ink on it, and I may not want to use it until it's yucky. Oh, I get sunshine. I love that. Okay, I'm going to give that a second to dry. I wiped the stamp. Did you know that when you clean with the chamois, you should give it a second to dry? It's tricky little bugger here. Okay, it looks like number 8, huh? So there's the thing. Oh, I guess I need to put ink on it. Fanning it. Maybe that'll make it dry faster. Okay. So I think for me, the jury is saying patience is a virtue, because this is about, like, if you're a perfect stamper and you like to have your images in the exact right place, this is going to give you that perfect placement, but you have to take your time and be patient with it. So I'll go back to the, it is kind of cute, huh? Like I maybe, this would be cute in reds and golds for Chinese New Year. It's the year of the flaming horse. Did you guys know that? Anyway, I'm gonna bring this back in and show you. See how my image got fuzzy on that thinking? let's, I'm going to use the same ink just because, and let's pull that thinking back out. I want to show you, or let's do think. Decisions. I'm just going to take a card base and we'll do a card base instead. All right, so let's grab the little one. Looks like I made a G there. And then I'm going to lay the stamp down so that I don't, and I'm going to use the stamp positioner to line up the stamp so that it's straight on the table. And then when it comes back up, yesterday it like jumped up at me because of the springs, but I just want to make sure I got it straight, and it looks crooked to me. Let me just see. Yeah, it's crooked. Special. Let's go again. It's so funny. Hi, Jolene. Good to see you, my friend. Hi, Carrie. What is this thing called and what will it make? It's a stamp positioner, so it's just a tool to help you get your stuff straight. And if you're a particular stamper, like a lot of times I'm just kind of fly by the seat of my pants, that therefore on the fly. This might be a helpful tool for you. There are other versions on the market, and if you own one, well, then you might not want this one, but that's okay. I was just showing it because people were asking. So this is the front of my card if I do if I stamp on the card base, right? And remember I said, like, you want to be real careful about where you line it up. Okay, so the Stampin' Up is going to the bottom, which means I'm upside down. That's so funny. Let me see if I can get this right. We'll go that way. Ha, look, see? We can do hard things. All right, so I'm going to close the card because I want it to go this way. And I'm going to center that. So that's right about where I want it. Is it all crooked or is it just my eyes? I got to stand up. See, when you look at, so for a stamp like this, it's really nice to be able to get it dead on straight, you know, and you can get the magnets under there. But let me show you this. This thing has a little give. So if you're not careful, you could actually not have your stuff lined up. So what I'm doing is I'm using the grid paper underneath it, and I'm looking to see that there's a line on both sides. And now I know that I'm perfectly straight. And I have this all lined up. So when I go back and I ink up, I'm going to ink up, and that's great. But before I stamp down, I'm going to have a little patience and make sure that I have it in the absolute middle before I push down. So if you look on this side, I need a little adjustment to get that line to line up just below the other one. So they don't have to marry the lines, but I love that they're offset a little so you can see where you're going. So I'm going to press and hold for a second. And I'll just say, Mary's great, Mary's great, Mary's great. And look, this side came out a little bit lighter than the other side. So I want to go back in and ink up again. And I can ink it up kind of like a block here. I don't have to turn it over. That's kind of exciting. Okay, so now I'm going to drop it on and not push down until I make sure that I have the lines even on both sides. Otherwise, my image could come out fuzzy, but this is perfect placement, right? So it's about having a little bit of patience and taking your time. So when you stamp it, it comes out ultra dark and fabulous. Woohoo! All right, so I'm going to put this right on top. Oh, I moved it. Son of a gun. Well, that's not going to work good. All right. And I smudged it a little because I did it while it was wet. You guys get the idea. Here, let's hold that down for a second. Whoopsie. And we'll line up our second one and see if we can save this. But that's a good point, right? Like, you don't have to be perfect on the first shot here. Okay. And I'm going to line it up like this. first to make sure that the first one's okay. And then when I go to hinge stamp, it'll be the same distance all the way down. Okay, so there's the first hinge. Good God. Here, let me show you how to do it. That's so funny. Cheers. Have a sip of coffee. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to buy extra of those, these mats for sure. Okay. Yeah, you know, and it, like, I don't have the right stamp on here to make a wreath, but I just wanted to, I grabbed one quick just to show, you know. All right, so here's the first one, and that's lining up perfect. And then if I come down, it's a little too big to do on the same one. Oh, shucks. Okay. So how about we're gonna go rogue anyway. All right, well, fussy britches this one, but that's okay. The thinking one is exactly like the right height, so I thought this one would be too, but it's a bigger stamp, so it doesn't quite line up. So that's okay. We'll just get it where we want it and then stamp it. And this is all trial by fire, guys. Like I said, I just opened the box this week, so I'm learning this tool too, and I hope that we can learn about it together. I'm sure that my team will have some amazing tips. I always learn the most at my own team meetings because they take care of me. I'm gonna stand up and line up my lines again. See, look, I would have been crooked. So you see that little bit of give, huh? But it's good to know that it's there. Now, I don't think that you have that issue with the big door. So definitely something that I'm going to talk about when I show this, though, because I don't want people to be frustrated. All right, and then if I go down, see, look, I'll be off again. So I'm going to slide the whole thing. Or I can just, yeah. It's interesting, huh? So I'm going to line this up with this, slide it underneath. And I love the hinge thing. I mean, the spring thing, because this is literally underneath, but I'm not worried about getting my image. I'm okay. Okay, so let's put this in here so it doesn't move again. Fussy. Oh, and I guess I do have to move it. Haha. I almost got it. Did you see it? I got ink on my fingers. That's funny. Where do I want it? I want it right about there, I think. Okay, let's get more ink. Jeepers creepers. Okay. Here we go. And then I'm going to make sure that the lines are the same distance and boom. So it's imperfect like me, but it's going to work. And then thank you. And for this, I'm just going to grab a block. I'm not a fussy stamper. I'm a, oh, look, it's going to be okay kind of girl. So I happen to have a roll of ribbon on my table that matches, because again, it's part of the club thing, and I'll be doing the video for that after I get to see everybody this week. But now that Snowmageddon is done, I might mail some packets early because I don't want, we're supposed to have another, they're talking about a snow bomb. What's a snow bomb? Bombo? Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so the ribbon isn't going to work there. It is cute though. I feel like it needs something. So let's take a minute. And we'll cut it down and make a card with it. So I'm gonna take this down to 4 by 5 1/4 and see if I can even make it smaller, but let's see if it'll fit if I do. I know I went outside the frame, but 5 1/4 by 4. I'm gonna see if I can take it down to 3 3/4 and have it not look crazy. I'll go in the middle. You guys ever do this? Like inch your cards down to see if you can get it to fit? Just, yep. So that's 3 3/4 by 5. And my 5 is at the top, so hopefully I'm not cutting the Y off. Nope. Your Y is very important. Don't cut off your Y. It's too important. All right. So how about if we just do a standard layer for this? We'll go 5 1/4 by 4. I'll take it up 1/4 inch because I'm thinking that I'd like to see the ribbon on there, but I can't really do the ribbon with the way the thank is, or I'll cover part of the words. So I'm gonna do something different. Very simple card, but I just wanted to show you the tool, the whole purpose. Did you guys have any more questions about the tool that might spark me to do something different with it right now? Hey, Cheryl, don't be bragging. I'm so jealous. Cheryl is nice and warm in the Bahamas, and I am cold and my fingers are turning color. Well, they're blue too because of the ink, but nice to see you, my friend. I hope you're having a great time. All right, I just changed my mind again midstream. Let's see, is there another card base under here? Of course there is. Okay. So how about if we put, well, if I put that on the card base, what I wanted to do was take a piece of this and see it. So you're not really tying like a bow, but I wanted to see it on that layer. So let's do this to the back. Like that. And I should probably put a little more adhesive. There's not much holding that corner. I don't need a whole lot of this adhesive because Seal Plus is so sticky. I will say that it's back in stock today. I just got my notification from Stampin' Up. Did you know if they have something that goes out of stock, you can sign up and they tell you when it comes back? I think it's so awesome. It's definitely helping me be a better customer service person because I can even sign up to get the notification, and then if somebody's looking for something, I can reach out and help them place their order after. Okay, so here we go. And this is such a simple card, but sometimes you just need a quick card for anything. Thank you. This is what I have on the table, so let's open up my rhinestone. I have a rhinestone collection. Apparently for a long time, instead of going to the one that I had open, I just opened a new package. So now I have a ton of open packages. That one's popping up. So let's just add some bling because that makes everything better. And I'm going to do a few extra on this one because I think it's so cute. I'm going to do 2 there. And you can still do a triangle on your projects with your embellishments and do more than one. So I'm going to put 5 and I'll do 2 of the flyaway little buggers. And then I'll put 1 lone star over here. So it's making a triangle, and you can like, there can be any number of things to your triangle. There's no 7. You can go crazy with it, but wicked fun. And it's super simple, but I just wanted to kind of try that. And speaking of the sun, I have to figure out something to do with this wreath now that I figured it out. Let's see, do I have more bigs? I wonder if this guy has something I can put in the middle. So one thing I do love about our stamps is that you can see through them. And it would make it really easy to stamp something inside. Oh my gosh, look at the little smiley face. You know you want that. Oh my goodness. All right. That just made my whole day. And I would use the Stamparatus for this, but it's going to be quick work to get this in the middle. It wouldn't be perfect placement like that. So the placement part is done, right? But oh my goodness. Can you even? All right, so I'm going to give you a minute because it's going to take me a hot minute. Do you want to see smiley faces in all of them, or do we want to put rhinestones? I'll let you guys discuss. And it does, there's like a 30-second delay. So, yeah, I like simple too. Hi, Tracy. Good to see you. Someone was saying that they, earlier this week on one of the posts, they were saying, well, I already have my stamp positioning tool and I'm not buying another one. And I'm like, okay. I'm actually going to sell my Stamparatus. I have 2 of them, and I'm planning to put them out for sale because, or I could probably put them in my BOGO collection for someone who loves that style. I'm really digging the springs. So I can see myself using this more than I ever used the Stamparatus, which wasn't really something I used a lot, if that makes sense. All right, so let's see. Anybody come through yet? No. I am giving you a minute. Let me see if anybody's commenting here. I'm getting the hellos, but no. All right. He's getting on his job interview, so I should probably wrap this up. But I want to thank you so much for being here. Here, let me just come over and say, yeah, he's getting on another job. This is the same company he's had like 3 interviews with, so this is number 4. So he's getting headway. I'm very excited. Oh, every other, that's a good idea. But I'm gonna be quiet, and I'm gonna finish stamping and then get ready for my stamp club that comes at 5 o'clock. So thanks for being here, guys, and we'll see you next week. And if you have questions, make sure you reach out, because it's the number one thing that I love to do is answer your questions, which was why we did this today. So thanks again.